Shalom. I'm responding to a video by Let's Talk Christ on the explanation of the Trinity. Let's Talk Christ. You talked as if you were a modalist. You kept pointing at, acting as if God is three aspects and not three persons, which is the doctrine of the Trinity. You seem to not know what the Trinity teaches. So let me help you on this. The Trinity teaches that there is one God that exists as three separate and distinct, co-equal and co-eternal persons: the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Which means this, that they are three entities in one entity. You cannot confuse the Father for the Son or the Holy Spirit, or the Son to be the Father or the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit to be the Father or the Son. They're not the same person. There are three persons. You cannot confuse the persons of the Trinity. Also, they are co-equal in that they are all three equally God, equally divine. They share equality in their aspect of divinity or godhood. They are all three co-equal, meaning they all three existed in eternity. This is co-eternal, I meant. Modalism, on the other hand, said that there is one God that exists in three modes, or three offices, or three manifestations, if you will. And it says that that God was the Father in creation, Son in redemption, and the Holy Spirit in regeneration. In other words, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are three titles of one person. The Father is the Son and is the Holy Spirit. Very simple to understand. You brought out space as an example of the Trinity. This is not a good example because space is three dimensions, and dimensions are aspects of space, not three distinct entities of space that make up space. Or three separate entities that is space. Length, breadth, and height. Very simple. There are three parts of a whole, or three aspects of space. H2O. You brought up H2O, water, as an example of the Trinity. Again, it falls apart because these are three liquid, ice, solid, and vapor, or liquid, ice, and steam, are three modes or states of existence of water. Liquid, when you melt it, becomes, when you heat it, it becomes vapor. When you freeze it, it becomes solid. Solid, when you melt it, it becomes liquid. That's when you put a heat to it. If you keep it real cold and make it dry ice, it will produce vapor. So be surprised. So these are three modes. Liquid is solid and is vapor. That's all through. That's H2O. It is all of these three things. These are modes of existence, not three separate and distinct entities that make up water that you cannot distinguish the three. Which the Trinity says you cannot confuse the three persons. Time, you brought up time, past, present, and future. These again are three aspects of time, not three entities, such as the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and the doctrine of the Trinity. The past is nothing more than yesterday's present. The present is nothing more than yesterday's future and tomorrow's past. The future is today, is tomorrow's present. That's point blank. The future becomes the present, and the present becomes the past. This is not Trinitarianism. You cannot confuse the persons of the Trinity. One does not become the other, such as we have in this case. Also, in Genesis 1:1, you point out the word echad, by the way, saying that the compound unity, not the case. I'll give you the example of first mention. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim v'et haaretz v'haaretz chayata tohu v'puhu v'choshek al panei tahum beruach Elohim merachafet al panei chamayim. Vayomer Elohim yehi or vayi or. Vayira Elohim et haor ki tov. Vayibdel Elohim ben haor uvein hachoshek. Vayikra Elohim la or yom ולחושק קרא לילה ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר יום אחד. Which says in the English, I'm quoting Jeff Benner's mechanical translation, in the summit Elohim fattened the sky and the land had existed in confusion and was unfulfilled, and darkness was upon the face of the deep sea, and the wind of Elohim was much fluttering upon the face of the water. And Elohim said, light exists, and light existed. And Elohim saw the light, given that it was functional, and Elohim made a separation between the light and the darkness, and Elohim called out to the light day, and the darkness he called out night, and evening existed and morning existed one day. Here, one is a number of a sequence of days, such as one day, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. That's the context of Echad. It's clearly not a compound unity or a plural of one in this context. If it is, please show me. By the way, the normal reading of first day would be Yom Rishon, but this is Yom Echad in Genesis 1. Also note that the wind of Elohim is not a separate entity from Elohim of verse 1. The word ruach can mean wind or breath or spirit. So the wind of Elohim is the wind or the breath that comes forth from Elohim, just like the wind of my mouth or my breath comes out forth from me, and is not a separate entity from me. So until next time, shalom, shalom.